Hello everyone! Today I want to give my second thoughts about the patch notes for Morrowind. Yesterday I completely lost my mind basically over all these changes, and the thing is I didn't look into it with too much depth. I just saw this. Restores based on maximum resource pool get reduced, cost reduction and recovery passives get reduced, synergies get reduced, and resource gain rates get reduced. So then I just lost my shit about all of this. But today I want to look at the actual numbers, and there are some interesting things here. So what I didn't do yesterday was go into the actual changes that will happen. For example, here, Battle Roar. This is a really nice passive for Dragon Knights, which currently it's like that. If you use an ultimate, you take the cost of that ultimate and put a multiplier on it, and the multiplier is based on your maximum resource pool, and the product of this will be the resources that you get back. And they will change this to scale with the character level, and what you will get is, if your resources are below 26,000, this will be a buff. And everyone said, it's ridiculous. Stamina, Dragon Knights have 50k stamina. Maybe DPS, but I agree that DPS has a little bit too much sustain. Now let's look at a tank, my tank. I have 160 gear, purple. I know there's a lot room for improvement, but 160 gear, full set, his spark. It's not the worst armor actually. Okay, this is only medium armor, but also a nice set. And let's look at my stats. And by the way, I am at the moment using this food, which increases my health, magicka, and stamina with 4,000. And with this buff, my stats look like this: 17k, 22k, 23k. And as you can see, my point distribution might look a bit strange to some people. 32, 32. But that's because tanks actually, they're like the only role in this game who need to spend points on everything, more or less. I get health from my gear and passives and all that stuff, so not much. Don't really worth it to put something into here. Also in dungeons, my health is, I think, at 30k at least. But I don't think the other ones raise. Maybe with Battlehorn. But as they say here, if your resources are below 26,000, this will be a buff. So for me, it will definitely be. And I think it should be for most tanks, because if you have like 50k stamina, how much life do you have? 15? And how much magicka? So you can use chain once. I think a good tank, I'm really no expert, but I think a good tank needs almost as much magicka as stamina, maybe a little bit less. Good, next passive, Helping Hands. This actually got nerfed onto the ground a little bit, because maximum stamina of 19,000, this is unacceptable for a tank. But it has one good point, at least for me, because the problem with Helping Hands is it's a passive in the Earthen Heart, which gives you 5% of your max stamina whenever you use one of these abilities. And the problem with these is I don't really like any of them except Magma Shell, but because of the Battle Roar passive, you already get a shitload of stamina and all that shit back. But Helping Hands, this will be reduced a little bit, and I don't really see the point of that. They should also make it like 26k or even 30k, so that it actually gives you more, especially considering all the recovery nerfs and all that stuff. But okay, my point is I will not be forced anymore to use this shitty skill. I know people, what? You say this skill is shitty? Are you out of your mind? But I really don't like to use it. Also, at the moment, it is not morphed because I try to play without it. Also, it gets another nerf that the The duration of the major mending, if you choose to use that buff, is tied to your shield. So when the shield runs out, the major mending is also gone, which means you will heal less. But on the other side, right now the buff is for 6 seconds anyway. It's only 6 seconds. It's actually shorter than the shield. So that means if your shield doesn't run out, after the patch, the major mending will actually be applied longer. But still, most people agree it's a nerf. And this is also a nerf, so which means the skill will be replaced. Which I find really good. Honestly. Because I don't want to run this skill. But yeah, that's really subjective. Yes, this is straight nerf. Okay, Igneous Shield. Oh, yeah. Okay, those both are for Igneous Shield, basically. Yeah, but most of these changes were at no scales for character level. These are pretty decent for tanks. Yes, for all DPS classes, it really sucks. Especially the Magicka restoration from orbs and so on. But that's the initial point they had. Reduce the recovery that DPSs get. And I can say really it is a bit over the top right now, because if you have the right food and the right gear and all that stuff, you really don't have to care at all. While you're leveling, you sometimes have to put in some heavy attack, or maybe at least weave, so that you don't only use abilities, but it's okay if that gets nerfed just a little bit. Because, you know, at the current state, the meta is just maxing, for example, getting 50k Magicka. And what this does is, it gives you unlimited resource, but it also increases your damage. And if you multiply those two, like uptime times damage, it's a self-reinforcing effect, and yes, that destroys balancing a little bit. I'm still not saying I'm totally happy with all of this, but yeah, the changes I think are not as bad as I thought yesterday. Is there anything else we need to know? I mean, they are really bad for Templars, because Templars were sought for their special skills, which were based on percentages. Yeah, but still, I think with this patch, everyone will lower their resources a little bit, go for a little bit more balanced route. And with this in mind, they don't actually get a nerf, because now they restore fixed amount of Magicka and stamina, which are actually bigger if you don't have as big of a resource pool. Yes, it changes a lot of builds completely and all that, but there will be some kind of new balance. If that works out, they will have to see. But yeah, even though there are so many changes, I don't think any class will get killed by this. Now that I really thought about it. And another change, all the people that are below 300 CP, actually below 600 CP, which are many people, will get a buff. Which is, if you had 600 CP spent into the trees, you got 20% buff on all of your attributes. So 20% increased. And now the same buff is reached when you are CP 300, which means I'm about halfway there, and my char will be buffed a little bit by this. Also, you have the more front-loaded champion points, which means, for example, heavy armor focus. This will give a lot more points in the beginning. Or, for example, yeah, I don't know, Bastion or stuff like that. That just gives more points in the beginning. Yes, they nerfed Warlord and Magician, so the reduce of stamina cost. They also nerfed the regeneration and that stuff, but you get more points, more effect for less points. And that's really nice change, because then you have more room to take some really nice effects, yeah. So yeah, all in all, I still think there's some nerfs in this, but not as huge as I thought initially if you really look at the numbers, and encourages a bit more balanced playstyle. And I think we will just have to see, but just wanted to let you know that I adjusted my opinion a little bit about this. See you next time.